a kind of faith which will sustain us and will bolster our desire to choose the right.
The leader of the Mormon Church has died. President Thomas S. Monson, the beloved prophet of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, died last night just 1 minute after 10 o'clock. He died at his home surrounded by family. According to a statement today released by the church, Monson died of causes incident to age. He served in church leadership for more than 54 years. He was ordained and set apart as the 16th president of the LDS Church, February 3, 2008. He was sustained as an apostle October 4, 1963, at the very young age of 36. Monson was 90 years old. A public viewing for all ages is scheduled for this Thursday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Conference Center in downtown Salt Lake City. The funeral will be this Friday, January 12th, in the center as well at noon for those ages 8 and older. Monson will be buried at the historic Salt Lake City Cemetery in a private service. Now, we talked to many local people today who reacted to the news of Monson's death.
One of the things each of us are supposed to do is try to endure to the end, and he did it. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. Shirley, what's your reaction?
I think he's excited, and he's probably busy, and he's seen Sister Monson, so they're happy together again.
President Monson was definitely a great example of faith in my life. You know, he's such a faithful man, and you know, I know that he's in a better place with his family right now, and
I know that he's with our Savior, and I know that he's with his wife. I pray for his family, but I feel a lot of peace about it.
I'm grateful that he doesn't have to bear the adversities of old age anymore. I'm grateful that he's moved on, but I'm also especially grateful for the character, the example he's been.
I can never remember a time when President Monson wasn't at the pulpit. He's been there my whole life, so I'll miss him.
Idaho's delegation also reacted to the death of Monson. Senator Mike Crapo wrote, quote, "Today I join those of the LDS faith and others who mourn the passing of LDS Church President Thomas S. Monson. He was a great leader, a kind man who spent more than a half a century in the service to others through his responsibilities in the church. His focus was the one, and he shared that love and kindness whenever he spoke. He was a man of humility, energy, action, and intelligence, and those who came in contact with him never forgot it. His was a life to celebrate, and he has left a wonderful legacy of example and service." Senator Jim Risch had this to say, quote, "Vicki and I offer our sincere condolences to the family of President Thomas S. Monson. We join millions of people around the world in mourning his passing. President Monson was one of a kind. He had a true passion for serving others and helped so many people throughout his life. He will forever be remembered for his servant leadership and dedication to ministering to those in need." And Congressman Raul Labrador said this, quote, "I am saddened by the news of President Monson's death. He had a servant's heart and always walked through life looking for ways to help others. His humility and love for every person and his focus on the individual is an example to people of every faith. I hope that this passing will inspire all of us to reach out to those who would benefit from an encouraging word or an act of kindness." Now, the Utah Jazz will hold a moment of silence before tonight's game against New Orleans in honor of President Monson. The Jazz did release this statement about their longtime fan. Quote, "The Larry and Gail Miller family and the Utah Jazz organization expressed their heartfelt sympathy at the passing of President Thomas S. Monson. His lifelong service and his impact on the world will always be remembered. He was an example of pure service, always looking after those in need, including our family, as he provided comfort by visiting Larry, another West High boy, many times during his long illness. We are honored to have had a close relationship with him and will miss him."